Hello and good evening. I would like to show you another project that I'm working on. Also a sweater made in raglan, but this one for the body and for the back, I'm doing checkerboard Intarsia. I've decided to leave the sleeves solid green and do the pattern only in the front and the back. I'm using Lorena from Ice Yarns. It is made up of 50% acrylic and 50% cotton. The suggested needle is 3 to 4. I'm using 3.5 millimeter needles. As you can see, by Intarsia, it makes for a very neat and smooth inside of the project, but you do need a lot of different small pieces of yarn. I know it looks very messy over there in the back, but don't worry, they're all organized one after the other. So this one I'm doing straight, which means not in the round. I'm doing back and forth knitting and purling. There is a method to do Intarsia in the round, but I prefer to do it this way. And at the end, when I'm finished, I'm just gonna stitch up in the back and make it into a pullover sweater. So let me show you how I do it while alternating all these pieces of yarn in the back to create this very nice checkerboard pattern. Let me get my needles. Here we go. So let's start with this green square. Ready to go. I'm making these squares 10 stitches by 16 rows. I like how it comes out, pretty much a perfect square, maybe a tiny bit rectangular, but I like how it's coming out. So let's start with these. So the first square on this side and on the other end, I actually made 11 stitches instead of 10, because at the end when I'm gonna stitch it up, I'm gonna have to use one stitch from each side in order to make it as invisible as possible. So this one will be 11 and the rest of them will be 10. So we got here our thread and let's start knitting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, to switch to the white, you want to make sure to bring the white under the green one. So the new one should always come under the previous one. So here we have the green one. I'm going to put this to the left and bring the white one over it. So I'm putting this bunch now next to it after I pulled it from under, and like this it'll make this very neat stitch over here, as you could see. So now let's do 1, 2, 9 and 10. Now we're ready for next one. Always taking it from under, and so it goes over. Let me show you. See, the green one now is going to go over the white one. And that's how you continue on the whole row. And then when I finish and I'm ready to start purling, I simply turn around this whole plastic thing that it's all on it, and then I start the purling. Since the purling starts from this side, so like this one will be the first one, and so on and so on. Now I want to show you how to make these little bunches of yarn and how to keep them neat. So after knitting with them for a while, they do get a bit messy. As you can see, mine are not that neat anymore, and so it's always good to redo them, and then it'll become tighter and nicer. So let me choose one that looks very messy right now, and I'll show you how I make it. So taking the thread that's connected to the project, this is going to be the inside of the bunch. Now we're going to put this on the finger. This is through the pinky over there and comes over to the thumb. And now we're going to go like this, over the pinky, cross over to the thumb, over the pinky, cross over to the thumb, and continue like that again and again. So now I've reached the end and got it all nice and tight and neat on my fingers. I'm going to leave a bit of a tail here and take this off carefully from my fingers. And now with this tail, I'm just going to turn it around once or twice and make a bit of a knot, I guess you could call it. Second, here we go, and put the whole bunch into it, and like this it holds it tightly. And there we go. We have this neat little I don't know how you could call it, bunch of yarn with the thread coming out from the inside, and it's nice and tight. It doesn't come loose very easily, as you can see, and it makes it very easy to do Intarsia with these kind. I would like to show you other sweaters that I made with using Intarsia method. It's very tedious to do Intarsia, especially with so many, but the end result comes out so beautiful and so neat and smooth that it's all worth it. So this sweater I made, as you can see, I made diamonds, not checkerboard. This one I made with smaller needles and smaller thread, so it's a bit tighter than this one. Also, I made the sleeves solid and the body and the back with the Intarsia. Here you can see I stitched up the back. That was a little mistake over there, but it doesn't matter. No one notices. I made this one in brown, and I made another one in pink and white. You can see, takes a long time, very tedious, but if you keep it nice and neat with all these little bunches over there, it makes it very easy, and the end result is just gorgeous, just beautiful. Another thing I want to show you, to change from the checkerboards, for example here from the white to the green, from the green to the white and to the green. So the first squares, I simply did it, I pulled over from one end to the other, as you can see, like you do in Colorwork, but I didn't like so much how it came out, and so the others I simply cut the yarn at the end and started with a new yarn, with a new end. And when I'm finished this project, I'll just go to each corner and knot them up. It's a bit tedious, but the end result is always worth it. I hope you enjoyed watching. Bye bye.